Hey man, you know what? If we was drug dealers, man, we have beef right now.
We would. I'm taking your block. I'm taking your block.
But yeah, man, I think we're right now. Um, yeah. But
What's up,
fellas,
Val?
man. Okay, yeah. Now it looks like maybe some. Well, let's just chop it up for a couple minutes, see if anybody else joins us before we get started. But
Hey, you
hey,
got
so
it. You got one of these coasters on your desk?
The coaster reads, I survived another meeting that should have been an email. If that was me, no, B, I do not have one of those coasters because I die approximately 4 times a day because of meetings that should have been an email. But you know what? I think probably the reason why they make meetings that should have been an email because I don't read my email.
Oh, I
My
do.
Outlook, my Outlook has 23,000 emails in it, and I do not read anything unless I see the mention. I'm not reading it. Don't if it ain't directed directly at me, I'm not reading that. But you better make sure you read my PTO though.
yeah, man, I'm so far removed from meetings, 5 years now. But we should meet more instead of all the text chat we do, where you guys are talking about betting, putting up your bet lines and shit I got nothing to do with. Kind of big G-ish in here.
Hey,
Hey,
I
What do
I
you
do
mean?
recall. I do recall you saying, "Hey, let me know when you got something sometime. I might want to put a few bucks on it." I remember that coming out of your mouth.
I do recall. I second that.
never once has there been a time you guys have said, "Take, you should try and take this bet."
You just do them all.
Yeah. Volume shooting, Tate. Volume shooting.
Yeah, you know what? And far as the text life goes, man, and she's in the building, Afton's in the building. Afton then jumped in with Curb and Big G, man, on our text thread, man, and she wasn't one of them at first. Now she's one of them. Like all day long, I'm hearing all the TJ Watt updates and
Ding,
speculations and
ding.
what's wrong with his lung, and the doctor didn't say this or somebody said that.
Get
Man,
well soon.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tell you about a text thread I got.
I'm not in it.
I'm the only Michigan fan in it, let alone somebody that's plugged in to some stuff behind the scenes. And I got jokers over there in this text thread telling me what's going on and what I heard, what they heard, what blah blah blah. And I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, you kind of got snappy at me yesterday from them people. That's why I just let it go, man. Because I didn't want to get no beef with you. Because I know you angry at other people. You came at me
It
like
is.
I was
It
I
was a.
was Big G with Cheat Gate and all that stuff.
I told you it was a displacement of anger. That's all it was. That's it. But it's wild. Like, I mean, I've been hearing stuff for 4 weeks. You know what I mean? And now I got people saying, oh, so and so and so and so. And, my grandma's uncle's cousin told me that. I'm like, oh, man. And then the rabbit hole, the chasing down the rabbit hole. Well, this is going to lead to snitching on everybody. About what? Snitching on everybody. Like, he's going to jail. The NCAA is not investigating him. He broke
Yeah, he broke the
university
law, yeah.
policy, and he broke the law after that. Those are the
Yeah.
two. NCAA ain't even talking to the dude.
He lost his job because of the impropriety, inappropriateness of the workplace. That doesn't send you to jail. What sends you to jail is when you go
How you
to
react to it.
yeah, your reaction. Yeah, that part. And that probably honestly is what cooks you. I mean, you were cooked in Michigan and probably cooked for a few years, but maybe you earn another chance. But
Yep.
once you went and did what you did reactionary, hey, that kind of X's you out. You gotta go get a whole new profession now.
Yes, Tim, there was breaking and entering, amongst other things. There were 3 charges.
Yeah.
Stalking and aggravated something or other.
Man, stuff everybody's we're not gonna talk about here, but stuff everybody's talking about. So with that being said, B Dirt, that's part of your football week, man. And
Woo.
got some questions about what Joe Burrow said at his post game presser last week. He seems unhappy. We'll
Yep.
talk about that. We'll shout out some of the folks in the live chat. Pay, you want to do that? Then we'll play the intro since we start. We really didn't start late because a lot of these channels, half the channels we're on, we're just getting to like for the past 5 minutes. We spent 5 minutes without till Pay letting me know and Tim let me know that we weren't even playing on the know-it-alls or the Steel Curtain Network. So man, I'm just here for nothing. But go ahead, Pay. Shout out to live
Running
chat.
through the jungle's nothing now. Oh man.
Oh,
I know. I mean,
Big
none of
beef.
this stuff I'm responsible for. But yeah, you know what? If y'all buying that stuff, if y'all buying that stuff off the running through the jungle block, come on back home to the car.
To the Carter. Craig Werlow, Afton, as always. Big James 3000. We got Pickens, you big dummy. Tim Lyons, of course. Who else is here spending Friday? What else? Kathy Fareed, love you. Love that
Mother
you're
of
here.
Africa.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's more people that has not chimed in yet, but we appreciate all the views. Everyone, you could have been anywhere in the world on Friday, but you're spending it with us, and we don't take that lightly. Let's entertain these good folks, gentlemen. And I do use that term lightly. Mark Malone, what up?
Oh, Mr. Malone.
Gentlemen lightly or good people?
I think
Good
it's
question.
We'll be right back after this.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, homie?
You can't handle the truth. Pay that man his money.
Never say never, but never.
Let's go.
Gentlemen, I use that term lightly. We're back on Friday night. We talked, kind of cold open with the people, found out how our weeks were, chopped it up with some of the folks in the live chat. But let's talk football now, right? So let's just get into the AFC North first. First question I got, we're gonna go to B Dirt. B Dirt.
Yo.
Joe Burrow seems unhappy. I mean, let me say this: he's a great quarterback. Top 5 easily. You could argue he could be top 3, but top 5, no doubt, no question at all. Has his weapons: Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, explosive offense. The defense has a lot to be desired for 2 years in a row.
Roof.
The offensive line is probably because he probably like, okay, our defense said I can put up points, but you gotta give me offensive line to keep me protected. Right? I would say. But part of that to me goes with the weapons that you have. You want the front office to keep, so that kind of takes away from, and from the outside looking in, you're the Bengals guy, but they kind of have missed on some of the draft picks because I think they could have put a young line around him, but haven't hit yet. Therefore, he's been dealing with a lot of injuries. So I'll put it up, wrap it all up in one package and give it to you. I guess so. My question is about his happiness. You think it just was in the moment? And because we're going to get into the coaches in the AFC North, do you think Zach Taylor is the right coach for the job? There you go, B-Dirt.
All right. As far as I'll tell you what, I'll add Gerald Abney's question over here too. He asked, do I think Joe Burrow asked for trade during the offseason? So I'll put that in this. Here's what I'm going to say. We'll start with what the Bengals have or have not done in order to build around him. And if you rewind this a year and a half ago, I started talking about what it would take to re-sign all the main guys, especially on offense. Paid 3 guys on offense over $100 million. I said it's doable, but you have to hit on your draft picks. You have to do what the Eagles have done on their defensive draft picks. They've hit on them. They paid their offensive people just like the Bengals, but they've hit on their draft picks on the defensive side of the ball. The Bengals keep drafting guys with great athletic numbers at the combine. Perfect height, weight, bench press numbers, shuttles, the 40-yard dash, all those numbers. They're worried about the numbers and all this stuff. And they're drafting guys that haven't been as productive on the field in college. And that's been the issue with them, right? Miles Murphy was a project. He only had one move. He was a raw rusher. So that was an issue. And then you look at this year, they did the same thing this past year. The kid from Texas A&M, Shamar Stewart, again, a guy that didn't have very many sacks, not a lot of production in college. Looks great, highly recruited, looks great on tape. Offensive line, though, I mean, I think that, they've gotten a little bit lucky with it. Amarius Mims also didn't have a lot of production, a lot of starts at Georgia, but he seems to be coming around now midway through his second season. He's adjusted to the pro game, and he's playing pretty well. If you start looking at the numbers over the past 4 or 5 weeks for the Bengals, the average carry is up over a yard versus the 5 weeks prior. The sack and pressure rates are down significantly. Dylan Fairchild seems to be making some strides there. I think Jalen Rivers, the young kid they got out of Miami that was tackle guard combo, has played good when he's had to play. Dalton Reisner was a good pickup for us. So I feel like they've done some decent things. Now, we're going to need a left tackle. Orlando Brown Jr. is aging. And I don't want to be too late to that. But I feel like we've started doing things there. Joe Burrow wasn't pressured a ton over the last 2 starts he was in either. You know what I mean? If you look at his sack numbers, his pressure numbers are pretty good. About where league average is or better. Now, leading up to that, I've been calling it Breaking Burrow season 1, season 2, season 3. Man, we've been getting this kid killed. He's at this point in time in his career, I think he's been sacked 35 more times than Andrew Luck was at this point in his career. And Andrew Luck, as we know, retired in year 8, Burrow in year 6. So right now, so I think it's real. 3 weeks ago, less than 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks ago.
You queued that up, Beater.
Hey, there we go.
So there go the number through Andrew.
So 29.
Yeah.
29 times he's been sacked more in less games.
Yeah. 29 times.
6.8% of the time he's been sacked versus 4.8% for Andrew Luck.
And when we thought Andrew Luck was getting killed back in the day.
Yep. So they finally have started figuring some of that stuff out. The defense is atrocious, though. They haven't hit on any of these guys. They've been taking too many projects, like I said. But if you rewind it 2.5 weeks ago, Joe Burrow was sitting on that same podium, and they were asking him about when he was coming back, why he was rushing back for a team that was, fledgling a little bit. And he said he feels like he owes it to his guys, and he loves football. Said he loves football. Now you rewind, now you fast forward it 2.5 weeks, got a good win against the Ravens, then he gets a bad loss against the Buffalo Bills where he threw back-to-back interceptions. So that's going to put him down as well. If you see Jamar Chase's interview, Jamar Chase, when asked about it, said he thought it was AI. He didn't think it was real. They said, no, it was real. And he was like, Seems like the same guy at practice. I mean, you got to ask him.
I
I'm not
saw
gonna
that
speak
part.
for,
I saw that. Yeah.
but he seems like the same guy. So I hit up Tim Lyons and said, "Here's my take. If you remember 2 years ago, walking off the field after a Monday Night Football game, Joe Burrow took the coaching staff into a side room before they went into the locker room and had a private conversation with them. I'd say, okay, only one each of the last 2 games he's back. There you go, Tim. Thank you for the facts. Fact check there. So Joe Burrow's been sacked once each game in his last 2 since he came back. So
That's not a lot.
no. So yeah, he took the coaches aside and talked to the coaches after the game, and then he was asked about it, and he was like, some things I just had to express, da-da-da. I started thinking, is he not getting the answers he wants from the coaching staff? Is he decided that he's going to play chess instead of checkers? Is he setting the table right now with his unhappiness so that during the offseason he has the ear of the ownership and saying what we need to have changes around here? Is it the coaching staff? Is it the general manager? Is it, the draft picks? Like, what needs to change? I think Joe's going to start trying to push some of that stuff. You need to make these changes. You need to make this we have too good a talent here to be pussyfooting around, for lack of better terminology. So I think that's kind of what he's leaning towards. Now, if that falls on deaf ears, would the Bengals trade him? No, I don't think they will. I might even trade him, to be honest with you, depending on what the package looks like back that you get back. But I would say the Bengals ownership, that's not their MO. They're not going to trade the man. They will tell him he's got to play his. Yeah, Joe does have to approve trade, of course, but
Well, he could.
I'm assuming the only way he would. So Tim's saying that.
Isn't that what Carson Palmer did? Threatened retirement.
Correct. So that's what Tim's saying. No trade, non-trade clause in his contract. Joe has to give it. Of course, they wouldn't trade him unless Joe wanted out, and that would be part of the deal. Now, all that said, I think if they don't make the changes, it's going to end up in the same situation that the Carson Palmer thing was. I don't think it's going to be a trade situation. I think it's going to be a threatened retirement situation. And I have a feeling that, you pay me $50 million for a couple of years, I can figure out how to make ends meet. And I think Joe Burrow would be good at I think he'd be great on television, TV. He's got, thing for fashion. Like he doesn't. I don't think he needs to play football to be relevant.
And they're having a reboot of the Home Alone series, so there's always that for him.
There you go.
Well, Macaulay Culkin's still around though.
Yeah, but Macaulay Culkin don't look like Macaulay Culkin anymore. Joe Burrow looks more like Macaulay Culkin than Macaulay Culkin does.
I agree. Hey, so B Dirt, the Zach Taylor question. 2-14 the year before they drafted Burrow. So he coached the bad team into Joe Burrow. And since he's been there, so his record right now is 50 wins and 61 losses. So he was under 12 games under 500 his first season. So that means he's about 500 with Joe Burrow. The games, I can't tell you exactly, but his coaching record before drafting Joe Burrow was 12 games under 500. Now he's 11 games under 500. So he's plus 1 game percentage.
I know Joe's got a winning record, so he's losing more games when Joe's not out there, which is to be expected. Right. All that said, I've been saying it for a couple of years now. I don't think he's the right guy. As far as he's kind of a patsy sometimes, I think, to the ownership and whatever. I'd like to have a stronger personality in that position for me. I'd rather have, if you have all this talent and all this other stuff on offense, get a defensive-minded coach and a good offensive coordinator. You don't need that many offensive minds when you got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins on the field. They're going to figure some things out.
Got it. To Gerald's question, three first rounders. I give you 2 and a third if you want Mike Tomlin too.
0 chance.
Oh, that happens inside the division. Yeah, that's not
that
happening.
we would trade that.
I mean, that's not a bad deal. I think the Bengals should be at least bring that back to the table. Like, hey, you know what? Tomlin and a bunch of first round picks. I don't know. We can find another quarterback, can't we?
So, we'll go we'll talk about it more during the picks, but because the Cleveland Browns play your number 1 team, the Chicago Bears, this week. Don't get into the game. Just tell me what you think about Shedeur Sanders, how he's been playing thus far.
Oh, he had a great game against the Titans. Caveat, it's the Titans. But it's still a professional football team. Well, you know, when Shedeur Sanders has a clean pocket and doesn't have the, I guess, proclivity to bail early, he's a pretty decent quarterback. And I would probably go on to say that the best quarterback on the Browns roster, including whoever's on the IR. I mean, with that said, though, it's going to be a lot of speed bumps along the way for him. I still don't necessarily project a top 30 quarterback for Shedeur Sanders. I mean, he's got talent. He's got the arm talent is there. But the knock on him has always been his pocket presence. Playing for a team like the Cleveland Browns, he's going to test that pocket presence because they haven't really had the most stout offensive line since in the last 10 seasons at least, something like that.
I'll say 3. They had a pretty good line before 3 for Bantonio and they
did.
Yeah, they had a good line.
Yeah, Baker took it. Maybe that's more of that's maybe more of a thing on Baker because he took a lot of hits while he was there. But in any case, if he gets the protection he needs, then I'm certain that he can possibly grow into a really good starting quarterback. And I know Cleveland Browns, they hope that because they don't want to have to use another first-round pick on a quarterback next year because that would just make them look stupid. And Cleveland Browns, the one thing they hate to do is to look stupid.
Why? I don't think they really hate that. I think you're being sarcastic. I know that. But why would they hate that? They didn't use a first-round pick this year on the quarterback. They may have wasted a third.
Yeah, but when you use valuable free agent dollars on a quarterback and then use valuable draft picks on 2 quarterbacks, turning around and doing it again the next year, it kind of makes me feel like you don't have a serious plan.
Who were the valuable free agent picks? I don't think Joe Flacco didn't cost a lot. Kenny Pickett was a 7th round trade.
It's still money, right? It's still assets. There's a finite amount of money you can use. I mean, I don't think I said a lot. I said valuable. Okay. Valuable money you could have been spending elsewhere. And that's 4 additional roster spots to a quarterback this season. And then to turn around and spend a top draft pick on another quarterback 5 in 2 seasons, that leads me to believe, just outside looking in, that they don't know what they're doing in-house at Cleveland. Maybe I could be wrong, but then again, we are talking about Cleveland Browns. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I just think it's nuance how you look at it. I mean, they didn't waste the first in the quarterback, so I look at it like if it went, Shedeur was picked in the 3rd and Dylan was picked in the 5th, because I think that's how people's boards, how they probably saw it across the board. I think even though he failed, Shedeur Sanders was a better prospect than Dylan Gabriel. 1, 2.
If he ends up being a starting quarterback in this league, it would be the best case scenario for the Browns because they got him in the 5th.
Right, yeah. But they wasted the third on Dylan Gabriel, which could be a different player and still have that Shedeur in the fifth.
Another starter.
Yep, a third, you would think at least one that would become a starter.
Mm-hmm.
But so last question, and we'll be done with the Browns till we pick the games here in a minute. The last question is regarding the Shedeur Sanders thing. I think I may have forgot this. We may just be done already. But it was a comment, it wasn't a question. I was gonna say that's what teams without quarterbacks do, man. If you not spending the first, you just throw spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks. I mean, but they could have if they had like a fifth and a sixth, they could have probably got both those guys in the fifth and sixth. If that's what they wanted to do. They missed they really had a good draft, the Browns did. They missed that third round.
No, they really did. They really did have a good draft.
Because they took Dylan Gabriel.
Still 3-10. Yeah, it's so crazy if you mess up on one particular pick. I do believe their season was derailed because of the instability at quarterback. It's crazy because Tyler Campbell, Dale Pitt, Mason Graham, Quinshon Judkins, those are some beasts. And I gave them all their flowers in the preview episode we did for the Bears and the Browns. Those they got some beastly players over there, but they are held back by they don't know who's leading the huddle on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, it's coaching with that too. And he's a two-time coach of the year, Kevin Stefanski. Is he the right coach in Cleveland? A lot of buzz out of Cleveland about fire Stefanski. I haven't, like B Dirt said, he's been one change Zach Taylor for a couple of years now, but I don't hear it out of Cincinnati. I don't know if it's a thing, but I don't hear fire Zach Taylor. I hear it in Pittsburgh all the time, obviously, and I'm starting to hear it in Cleveland. What do you guys think about Kevin Stefanski as a coach?
Well, they've been saying it for a while about Stefanski, right? They were saying it a year after he won Coach of the Year, which I don't think he deserved, but that's neither here nor there. So at some point, I mean, all coaches are hired to be fired, but at some point, once the conversation starts on your tenure, it's going to the floor is going to fall out from underneath you at some point. And a 3-10 season, I mean, not many people come back from that, especially again after having such a ballyhoo draft. I don't think that I don't know how much leeway or input Stefanski has into their draft decisions. If you assume that he didn't want Shedeur Sanders, you would assume that he doesn't have any input into the draft decisions. So I would take that and put that towards the frame of mind that the general manager feels that he did his job and Stefanski is not doing his job.
Well, I think Dylan Gabriel was a Stefanski want.
So
Shedeur Sanders later was the owner one. Go ahead, Peter.
So I don't think it matters what the fan base wants or thinks about Stefanski. What really has put him in danger of losing his job is if Shedeur continues to play closer to the way he played against the Titans than he did his first couple games. He's completing 60% of his passes and thrown for 250 plus. It's going to be what you said there, Tate. That was the owner's guy, right? So the owner, I'm sure, brought it up before the fifth round of drafting Shedeur Sanders. And they said, no, we want this guy. We've established the GM and the coach, and everybody wanted Dylan Gabriel. They gave him Dylan Gabriel. He played like doo-doo. And then he puts Shedeur Sanders in, and now the owner's sitting in his owner's box going, ha, see? You guys aren't so smart after all. And that's why it don't matter.
And he's making more money.
If Shedeur Sanders if he plays well, bye-bye. Stefanski and probably the GM and the coach are going to be gone. They'll get a new GM and have him hire the coach.
Andrew Berry. Okay. So real quick, the Steelers and the Ravens played last week. Pat, we know that was Steelers. We won't get too much in that game. I'll just ask you real quick about Harbaugh. You think Harbaugh's under fire too?
Yeah, a little. I think they have certain expectations in Baltimore, and after so long being there, then maybe it's time to go in a different direction. And that's a little bit of that is because, and I don't think Harbaugh's going to fire. Let me just put that out there now. I think he'll have the opportunity to walk away on his own terms. There was an idea that Harbaugh was going to step away before Lamar became the starter. And I think it was in that season when he became the starter and took off that, oh shit, now I can't leave because, we taking off like a rocket right now. So this season right here is probably the easy exit for him. We know what we failed to beat expectations again in a season where you have no Pat Mahomes boogeyman. So that's double bad for you. So let's go ahead and get that new voice in the room. I think that's the easiest way to go for all parties involved.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'll say this. I'll say Harbaugh. They weren't playing well. Joe Flacco in the year he put Lamar Jackson halfway through, they went on a run where they made the playoffs. Since then, Lamar Jackson has wins out like 3 out of every 4 games in the regular season, but they even may win a playoff game, but they never make it. They went to the AFC Championship game, I believe, last year, first time in Lamar's career. But I think it could potentially be looked at as more egregious.
They didn't go to the championship game last year. It was the year before last.
Year before? Okay. When he played against Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But because the Ravens, like Tomlin's been losing big time, won a playoff game. Harbaugh's won a playoff game or 2, but not winning with an MVP level quarterback. Should be 3-time MVP in my opinion. But I think they're both owed a certain amount of respect within their organization, that you don't fire them, you negotiate something, resignation or a trade or something like that. Because I believe both coaches at least have value in that perspective. So Tomlin beat the Ravens last week. But if he had a loss, it would have been really, really noisy. Again, it's still noisy. But I think the Steelers front office, Mr. Rooney and stuff, is a football guy. He's not one like. I get what the fans are feeling, but we're fans. Fans are fanatics, and we're irrational. We're knee jerk. We're all that stuff. You don't just. Like Craig Werlow, the homie, just said all 4 coaches should go. Then we'll be like next year. We'll be like we are this year. One team will make the playoffs. So because one team has to win a division. I don't think anybody gets better if you get rid of coaches that have Kevin Stefanski's won 2 coaches of the year. We know what Tomlin and Harbaugh's resumes are, and Zach Taylor's been to a Super Bowl. He has a superstar quarterback. I'd say if I was ranking them, Zach Taylor would be the first to go on my list.
I agree.
And everybody else is just not happy with the current conditions, but still good football coaches, I believe. Even Kevin Stefanski. I think he's a good coach. Does he make bad decisions? All coaches do. But, so that's our take on the division. Real quick, B-Dirt, the Bengals and the Ravens. You guys, how you see that? We'll pick it. We'll talk about that when we pick. We'll just take our break now, go back. I'll get the keys to B-Dirt, and we'll get into the picks. And when we get to that game, give it like 90 seconds to talk about what you guys think about it. So if you're watching on YouTube, stay with us. We're not going anywhere. If you're listening on the audio platform, be it Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to your audio podcast, we have to hear a few words from our partners and advertisers. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us on the Homies Friday night. We'll be right back. And we're back on the Homies Friday night. We got done talking about some of the stuff going on in the AFC North with some of the players, i.e. Joe Burrow. Talking about the team's coaching situations, i.e. everybody, every fan base wants every coach fired in the AFC North right now.
Get them out here.
Best division in football. But yeah, B-Dirt, man, I think I had one too many drinks, man. Let me give you the keys.
Woohoo!
So here we go with the pick'em part of the show. The pay dirt pick'em part of the show.
All right, you got an update here for us?
I do.
I know it's a tight race.
It is a tight race. I don't have the graphic.
That's all right.
But
give it to us verbally.
Okay. So we're not having the graphic, and I didn't figure out the percentage.
Okay.
But
it can't be. I think we're all within one. We're all within one, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, you were up 1 last week, so you are up 2 on me now, and I believe two on pay. Because you guys were both 8-4, and I was 7-5 last week. So we'll figure it out.
Weeks by all of us, though.
Yeah, we'll have combined. Yeah, especially when I saw Pay's boy Nick Wright is like under 50%. I said, man, we're doing pretty good.
I lost the first 2 games on the sheet.
He keep putting his money on Kansas City. That's why.
He does, man. Recklessly.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Hey, let's shake it up a little bit, and let's start with the AFC North games first. We'll start here so we can give our analysis of that. Pay, I'm going to start off 2 teams that you're pretty familiar with here. The Browns are plus 7.5 going into Chicago to take on the Bears. Over under 38.5. Also under 20 degrees. Minus 20 degrees. What in the hell is that? You can't play football in that.
Yes,
you can't play football in that weather, Pay.
Yes, you can. You can play that good old smash mouth, the football your grandpappy and them played. Yeah, violence with a little bit with a side of arthritis. How about that?
Oof. The ball's got to feel like catching concrete.
Yeah, that's why we're not going to throw the ball. Both teams. It is a no-fly zone in Soldier Field.
If I remember an earlier discussion, one of these Friday nights in the past, Friday night, many Fridays ago, we had a discussion, and both of you guys weren't fans of the elements being part of the game, right? We still feel like that? Or are we looking forward to this game in 20 below temperatures?
Well, I'm going to wear the flag.
I'm not a fan of the elements.
So you didn't like seeing the Bengals out there in the snow last week against Buffalo?
No.
Okay. Go ahead, Pay.
I'm going to wear the flag. I mean, Chicago, this type of weather builds character. It makes you a Chicagoan, right? However, I think bear weather is overrated. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I would like to see the elements out of the game of football. Let's just legislate it out. Which means if that means we got to kick the Packers out of the union, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Would
the division be willing to do a revenue share and share the cost of building the Packers a stadium? Because they probably have the least money because they're owned by a collective, right?
Oh, they have just as much money as anybody else. And when we see, well, let me not say that. Because when we do get those reports on their expenses and their revenue and their profits don't align with where I would assume the football team would be. But that's a different show for a different time. The answer to your question is no. I'm not giving them $1.
Real quick, Knight Rider comment. There's a reason Super Bowl isn't played in the weather. Most Super Bowls aren't. There was one in New York. But I think as it played in the weather, more for the fans than the players, though. Would you guys agree? I think the Super Bowl is a big event, a big thing, a destination. Nobody wants to go to that thing and be sitting out in 15-degree temperatures in New York City.
Right. Not the fans, though. You're right with everything else. It ain't for the fans. Like B. Dirt said, they don't do shit for the fans. These decisions ain't got nothing to do with the fans.
I think the venue aspect of it is for the fans because they want the fans to join the venue, come and watch the game and stuff like that. And you're more likely to do that in Palo Alto than you are in New York Citizens Stadium or whatever it's called. But go
All right, so the
game.
Browns plus 7.5 at the Bears. Pay, give us your breakdown of the game and tell us who you got.
Trap game. So I have no reason to believe that Ben Johnson won't have his guys laser focused on on the objective at hand after losing that tough game against Green Bay and then having to turn around and play Green Bay again with the Browns sandwiched in the middle. With that said, 7.5 is daunting with a total of 38.5. That is odd to have those two things juxtaposed against each other. It's going to be -20 with the wind chill at Soldier Field. One thing to look out for: the Bears are the best rushing offense in the league, as if you look at success rate versus the best rushing defense in the league. Also looking at success rate. One thing to keep in mind though, the Cleveland Browns, they are able to stop the run because they constantly play with 9 in the box. The Bears are the best in the league at beating a loaded box with the rush due to all their misdirections and stretch plays and motions that they do pre-snap. Give me the Bears. I like the Bears to win 19-6. Oh, and if you were interested in the total, 38.5, the Browns have scored over 20 points 7 times in the last 30 games. Food for thought.
All right, Tate. Browns plus 7.5. The Bears. Who you got?
I think the Browns scored like 28-29 last week, though. But I think the Bears win, but especially with the weather conditions, they play the same style of football. They both want to run the ball, play defense. I think it's closer than that, man. Like I said, I think the Bears win. But I'm taking the Browns with the points, but I got the Bears winning 20-16. So I would take the under. It's 39, you said, right? We'll take the under.
38.5.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, Bears win, Browns cover.
Man. I'm going to agree with Tate. I'm going to take the Browns plus 7.5. I was really hoping Tate wouldn't, so I could be by myself. But yeah, what are you going to do? I'll skip. I'll save the best for last, Tate. I'm going to skip you, and I'm going to take the Ravens at the Bengals. The Bengals are plus 2.5, over under 51.5. 13 degrees, balmy compared to Chicago. 13, 14 degrees is going to be what the weather's like down in Cincinnati. I think Joe Burrow's proven he can play in cold weather, bad weather. The Bengals 2 weeks ago beat the Ravens. I also think we were able to run the ball fairly well that game, and I really feel like the Bengals team is going to rally around Joe Burrow and him being down and all those kind of things. So I think the Bengals actually win this game outright. I'm going to take the Bengals plus 2.5 against the Ravens. Pay, who you got?
The Ravens got screwed last week in that game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers were choking that game away. And the refs said, not so fast, my friend. Shout out to Lee Corso. That was a catch. Just like Dez caught it, Isaiah likely caught it. And just like Dez and the Cowboys, the refs are going to cost them their season. The Ravens are not going to bounce back from that travesty of last week. It's going to hang over their locker room, and they're going to lose this game. I got the Bengals by 6.
All right. Tate, is it a clean sweep, or you got the Ravens here at the Bengals plus 2.5?
Yeah, Danny Jr. brought it up too. I was going to say Jesse James also made the catch too that cost the Steelers going to the Super Bowl. But so it happens. It's part of the game. But yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and roll with you guys, man. We're going to go 3 for 3. I think the Bengals win this game outright. They're getting 2.5, you said, right?
Yes, sir.
They're home dogs, and they win. They can just put up too many points. I mean, if Baltimore wins, it won't. I mean, the Bengals will cover because they'll be right there. So I got the Bengals covering, but I really pick them to win. If I was picking the score, I'd say it'd probably be 27-20.
Very nice. All right.
If they focus on Derrick Henry and stop him and make Lamar beat you, be it with his legs or his arm, he's not doing that this year. He started to run a little bit against Pittsburgh last week, but that was empty yardage.
And in 14-degree weather, I would not want to take off if my hamstring was a little touchy.
Right.
This is me. All right. Tate, Monday Night Football. The Miami Dolphins travel to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are favored by 3 points, so it's Dolphins +3 at Pittsburgh. Over-unders 42.5. Give us the breakdown of the game and tell us who you got.
Well, in Pittsburgh this week, TJ Watt will be out. He had one of those situations where he was getting the treatment. I guess a lot of the guys in the NFL get it. It wasn't the same thing as Tyrod Taylor had a few years ago, but same thing happened, right? He got punctured in the lung, had a collapsed lung. He's out at least this week, could be a couple weeks. So he's not playing. But the Steelers played good last week in the first 3 quarters. They looked better on offense. So I don't think that they I think hopefully what I'm hoping for, because I can't say anything because they haven't been consistent all year, but hopefully they start stacking and the defense plays well. Nick Herbert is going to replace TJ Watt. The Dolphins are winners of 4 in a row. They've been running the ball at a high clip, the highest in the NFL, I believe, over the last 4 weeks, over this win streak. Defense has been playing well. I think that's product of who they've been playing. Like last week, Tyrod Taylor went on, I believe, with a concussion, and they played some guy nobody's ever heard of at quarterback. I wonder how I looked over and the Dolphins were up on the Jets like 24-6 or something like that. But yeah, man, I got Pittsburgh at home. Tua doesn't play well in the cold, even though he won that game against the Jets last week. Wasn't as cold as going to be on a Monday night, and that was against the Dolphins. I mean, the Jets' third or fourth string quarterback. So I got the Steelers at home Monday night. The Steelers are really good on Monday night. Mike Tomlin also. Color rush uniforms. All the recipes for a W in Pittsburgh at a primetime game. December 2. I got the Steelers winning this game, man, 24-13.
All right. We have a super chat, and boy, is it a super chat. Mr. Jezza, we appreciate you. $20 bill, y'all.
Shout out. Thank you, S. Dresden. Oh, Dresden. Okay. He says funk the Pittsburgh Tomlins. That's your prerogative. Thanks for the super chat. Definitely appreciate it. Hey, we can cuss them all the way out. You keep dropping them dubs in there.
Yeah, that's right.
I say F Tomlin too. But no, thanks for the super chat, man. But okay, go ahead, B Dirt.
All right. I have been on again, off again with the Steelers. One of the things that has been working for me this year is when you think the Steelers.
B Dirt, real quick, your annual bet you make. Did you bet the over under for Pittsburgh?
What?
You said you always bet over on Pittsburgh.
Correct.
For the season. Did you do what you do this year? What I'm asking.
I pushed away from the table.
Okay. So what was the number?
The number was it was either 8.5 or 9.5 this year.
Okay.
It was still a winning record.
Okay.
And I was like, I think so. I don't love it. I think it might have been 9.5. I think it went to 9.5 when they got
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, yeah. All right, so I got the Dolphins +3 to Steelers. The thing that I've started doing with the Steelers the past, 5-6 weeks, it's kind of worked well for me, is when the Steelers have tough, they seem like their backs against the wall. You know, the Boo Birds are out. They're playing a tough team. They play well. They cover, they win, whatever. When they play somebody they should beat fairly handily, they don't play well. They play down, they play with their food, however you want to say it. Therefore, I think Achane will have a big game here, and I think the Dolphins cover the 3. Pay. Break the tie. Dolphins +3 to Steelers.
Yeah, I tried to dismiss that misnomer last week about Tua and the Dolphins and the weather. Well, let me not say misnomer, but because it is a real thing. But as you saw, as they went into New York and handily beat that team in New York in the weather, and they did it by playing old-fashioned football, by running the ball down their throats. The Miami Dolphins are not a finesse team anymore. They are a running team. They're a top 10 rushing offense. They average about 130 a game on the ground. Devon Achane is probably the fastest running back in the league. The Pittsburgh Steelers today, they give up 130 on the ground per game. I think this game is tailor-made for the Miami Dolphins to be able to play their game no matter where. Rushing games always travel, right? So, yeah, I'm gonna go with Miami to cover that 3 as well. No TJ Watt too. Right? No TJ Watt too. Get well soon.
All right, Pay, I'm going to throw it right back to you here. We're going to get back into our regular scheduled program out the AFC North. Oh. Super chat. S. Dresden, he says, it's rigged. How was that not a TD catch?
Good question.
Well, I just listened to the guy say the rule. He didn't get his third foot down. Now, whether I agree with it or not, whether I agree with it or not, or you do or not, it's what they said. So I'm not going to complain about a win. Well, and you act like that was with 0. It was still 3 minutes and 50 seconds left.
Wasn't I always thought the rule? And I'm not like trying to cause an argument here, but I always thought the rule was third step or a football move, right?
Yeah,
he walked with the ball in 2 hands. I'm like, I turned the channel.
Whatever it was, it was except in the end zone. I didn't hear that the union, the NFL referees, they called and apologized to the Ravens. Harbaugh was complaining. So hey, it's a W. It's a check in the W on the Steelers column. So not gonna complain about it. We can argue. I'm not even gonna argue that it is a catch. It wasn't called a catch. That's all. That's the only place I'm at with it.
All right. So the AFC North are over with. We're gonna go back to you, Pay. We're gonna start off here with the Raiders going to Philadelphia, flying across the country to some cold weather. Raiders plus 12.5 at the Eagles.
Yikes.
Over under 38.5.
I forgot to mention the Steelers' record in games that TJ Watt don't play. I don't have it on hand, but that was a part of my
1-10. 1-10.
Well, thank you for that. So the Raiders are 12-point dogs playing the Eagles. The Eagles have lost 3 in a row. The Raiders are the gift that gives. You're having a bad day. You need a dog to kick. Here comes the Raiders. I got the Eagles. They're 12-point, right? B, 12-point favorite.
12.5.
All right, I got the Eagles by 13.
Super chat, take it away, Tate.
Another super chat from S. Dresden. Thanks, S. Dresden. This is an easy one. Chuck Noll, the greatest coach in Steeler history. It's easy to say his name. The all-time greatest coach. Don't have the all-time greatest winning percentage. Hasn't won the most games in Steeler history, but he has the most championships. And he also had a team that was a legendary team with probably like about 13 Hall of Famers? And there was no free agency back then. So Chuck Noll did a great job while he did it. As the 80s went on, he got older and washed up a little bit. They were losing. He wasn't still having a winning record. They weren't winning Super Bowls, not at all in the 80s. So kind of similar, except for he had a legendary team in the 70s and they won 4 out of 6. But yeah, I love Chuck Noll, man. Don't get me talking bad about Chuck Noll. Greatest coach in their history.
How about S. Dresden just spreading that holiday cheer? We appreciate you.
Holiday cheer, not Steeler cheer, but to some people that is Steeler cheer. Let me just shut up.
All right, Tate, don't shut up. We need your pick here. Raiders plus 12.5 at the Eagles.
I'm going to take the Raiders, man. I think the Eagles win. They can even win by 10. Their offense have they scored 13? I mean, the past 3 weeks, I got the Raiders keeping it close. Kenny Pickett going back to Philly, who sent him to Cleveland purgatory, which then turned into Vegas purgatory. He's coming back for his revenge. And you know what? I want Kenny Pickett to do good because I got Brock Bowers, my fantasy team. We're playing each other, beat dirt. I swear I went 5 minutes before the game, was going to put in Kyle Pitts in my flex position. I was only going to take Brock Bowers out. But he got a 47 ball last night in our league. And we're playing. What'd you say?
Go ahead.
No, I said when we're playing for trying to make the playoff. I mean, it's a way we can both make it. But we're playing each other. I need a W to be safe.
Yeah, I'm in the quarterfinals of the playoffs in another one of my leagues, and only one player has played for either of us, and he had Kyle Pitts.
Oh, you would have really hated if he was two.
I went from a 65% win probability to like 30% win probability.
Oh, this
The
is still
cojones you have to have to play Kyle Pitts in the playoffs. Wow.
Well, it's not a playoff game, but like my options, like it just would have worked because I got a couple receivers out. I started to play Mike Evans too, but I got burnt last week because I played Jaden Daniel coming off injuries. My quarterback, he went out with 3.5 points, and I lost by 0.5 point. So, yeah, I wasn't going to die the same way this week. So, I didn't play Mike Evans, who got 22, and Kyle Pitts got 47. I left 70 points on my bench.
I'm taking the Raiders too here, and it's not because of any of the matchups or any of those Kenny Pickett and his small hands going back to Philly or any of that stuff. To me, you're giving the Raiders 12.5. The over/under is only 38.5. You're giving them over 30% of the points. You know what? I'm just going to take the Raiders. All right. Tate, we're going to start off here with you. Bills at Pats. The Patriots are plus 1.5 points, over under 49.5. Bills are a road favorite in New England.
Yeah, I got the Bills playing. That's the difference between the real MVP, Josh Allen, and the MVP candidate, Drake May. This is a pressure game. This is a money game. I think Buffalo still wins a division. I mean, I think New England still wins a division because they're 2 games ahead. But I got Buffalo winning this game.
All right, more holiday cheer, Tate.
The homie S. Dresden again for the dub again. Thanks, Dresden. We certainly appreciate you. The channel appreciates you. We definitely do. How many Hall of Fame players for Coach Cowher? How many coaches that served with Cowher go on to lead? Who came under Cowher? And I read some about as far as Tomlin goes. He doesn't have a tree because he gives a lot of veterans opportunities they're proving in the league or have come back, and they're kind of like when he gave Mike Munchak an opportunity, former head coach. Who else? But yeah, I mean, Cowher, Hall of Famers, I'd say he had Troy Polamalu, obviously Big Ben Roethlisberger, Troy, Jerome Bettis, Hines Ward needs to get in. Who else? Am I missing? You guys know anybody I'm missing? I don't know. Faneca, offensive lineman, Faneca. Troy Polamalu. Yeah. He did coach Rod Woodson. Coach Rod Woodson. You can't give him credit, but you can count Kevin Green. He played for him. So I couldn't tell you the exact number. I'd say he probably got about 9 to 10 over his career if I'm just guessing. I'll see if I can check while B Dirt goes to the next pick. But thanks, man.
I will also tell you the coaching tree here I got pulled up includes Dom Capers, Chan Gailey, Jim Haslett, and Mike Tomlin.
See, how do they count? Because he came out. Tomlin never coached for Cowher. He replaced him. Tomlin's under Tony Dungy's tree.
That's what it says. Let me see if I can find it.
I don't doubt that it says it, but yeah. And Dom Capers was, I believe, no, he was not. He probably gets credit for Dom Capers was a great defensive coordinator when Cowher was a young coach. I don't think he developed Dom Capers, but not taking that away from Bill Cowher. I mean, I feel like as Dresden's
Mike Mularkey is on there.
Mularkey's a great tight end coach.
He coached
in Tennessee. Wisenhunt coached, yeah.
Dick LeBeau. Marvin Lewis.
Outside Marvin Lewis, did any of those guys, and that's not even as a head coach for the Bengals, you know him, B Dirt. But did any of those guys win anything, or did they just get head coaching jobs? Wisenhunt wasn't a winner, but
Dom Capers probably the best.
Dom Capers. He was much better defensive coordinator though. I
Dick
think
LeBeau is a great defensive coordinator.
Yeah, but how did he do for a coach with the Bengals?
Howdy doody.
Go ahead, Peter.
I'm taking the Bills over the Patriots. The Patriots have only really beaten one good team. That was the Bills. I think they get their comeback story here, and they right the ship. Pay on to you. Bills at the Patriots. Patriots getting 1.5. What you got?
We spoke about this game on Pay Dirt. I've been thinking about it ever since. I'm starting to be really confident in the Patriots' ability to stomp out all the haters and to go ahead and serve notice that the division's back theirs. I like the Patriots to get this game.
All right. I don't like the fact that those three are that lined up that way. That's great.
Thanks for the super chat again, as Dresden, man. Like you at the strip club, Pay.
Ooh.
I mean, look, remember we used to get paper bag pay, brown bag pay, and people used
I miss that
to
guy.
tip everything. I miss them too, B Dirt, man. McAfee pay where he stand up with his A. Is it called the A cut T-shirt? I mean, I don't want to call it something politically incorrect, but you know what I'm thinking. But yeah. No, Tomlin was done, guy. You're right, S. Dresden. Thanks for the super chat, man. Certainly appreciate you. Keep making it rain, boy. Pay,
Maybe,
you might have to flex or something, Pay.
Maybe a wave cap and some cigarillos or something.
Go ahead, B Dirt.
All right, this one's on me. I'm going to take you got the Cardinals plus 9.5 at the Texans. Man, this is a tough game for me, but I'm going to reluctantly take the Texans. I like what they're doing. I think the Cardinals are going to have a hard time scoring against them. Pay, Cardinals plus 9.5 at the Texans. Who you got?
I like the Texans. Big. In the interest of time, the Cardinals are thinking about their holiday plans. Yes, they're thinking about their holiday plans, and maybe you're staying in Texas after the game and just going a little south over the border. Let's go down to Cancun. Texans. I got Texans by 2 tutties.
More holiday spirit over here. Man's in a given mood.
Super chat. Stop shaking all that Tomlin. Okay, no Diddy. 2S Dresden.
Diddy.
Hey, I'm only shaking one guy. He's sitting right here with me, bro. Right here in my chair.
Take that. Hey, yo.
Hey, whatever. I think how Pay's looking, I think I knows what shaking is inferring to. But even that, only this guy, for this guy, whatever it is. Go ahead, B Dirt.
A little navel gazing. Tate, you got the Cardinals plus 9.5 at the Texans. Who you got over?
I'm going to say this real quick, man. I think the Cardinals cover. I think the Texans win. I think it's a low-scoring game. What's the under?
42.5.
Oh, yeah. They won't get that, I don't think. But I'm going to take the Texans just because I can't afford to lose this game to you guys. Benefit of picking last this time. I'm going to take the Texans, too.
Mr. Woodside says the Cards to cover backdoor. Just the way you like
I
it.
want to roll that way, too, man. But
backdoor?
I don't
That's
want
the way you want to roll?
Hey, it's the only benefit to picking last when it's your turn to pick last.
There you go.
You never want to
Pay, you got the Jets at the Jaguars. Jets plus 13.5, over under 41.5. Duval. Who you got?
What's the line again?
Jets plus 13.5.
The Jets are starting a quarterback. I don't know who that is. And you know, I've said it before, that kind of gives them a benefit because the defense doesn't know how to prepare for them. 13.5 might be a little too rich. I'm going to take the Jets this time.
You're going to take the Jets? All right. Tate, it's on you. Jets plus 13.5 at the Jaguars.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna take the I'm going to take the Jaguars. I don't like the Jaguars giving that many points. I don't think their offense is that explosive. But the quarterback is Brady Cook. He played for the Missouri Tigers. I remember him in college. Undrafted this past year. He was Missouri's quarterback last year. I mean, but he was the one throwing the Luther Burden, your boy. So now you know who he is, but I'm still picking against that guy. Give me Trevor Lawrence.
When we were doing pre-draft work on the channel and we was watching film and watching Luther Burden tape, one thing stuck out to me in that tape, watching Membu and Luther Burden, like that quarterback sucks. I'm confident now.
I will say this.
I'm glad to shed light on it for you.
Not only is the quarterback play different, but man, does that defensive front look different without Quentin Richardson. I mean, Quentin
Williams. Richardson was a former basketball player. Pay will know from the shy.
Quentin Williams. So they've looked totally different up front, and I think the Jaguars are going to run the ball here. I'm also taking the Jaguars here to blow them out. I think they win by 21. All right, Tate, you have the Chargers +6 at the Chiefs over under 40.5. Who you got?
Give me the Chiefs to get back on track. Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I think they're going to play really tough these last handful of games. I mean, I don't think it gets them back in the playoffs, but I think they win this game. It's in Kansas City. The first time they played, the Chargers beat them. That was that game, the first game to open the season out of the country. It was in Mexico. It was South America, somewhere. I think it was Mexico. But yeah, I got the Chiefs.
The Chiefs. All right. I tell you what, I think this is going to be a defensive struggle. Both teams can run the ball, the Chargers can run the ball. The Chiefs can throw the ball. I like the Chargers defense. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a 24-20, 21-17. I think the Chiefs win, but the Chargers cover. Pay, tiebreaker. Chargers +6.
I don't know. I don't know why people are still giving the Chiefs the benefit of the doubt. Chiefs should not be a touchdown favorite on anybody the way they've played this season. But with that said, I'm going to pick the Chiefs, but it's not because I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt and who they have Pat Mahomes and all that. The Chargers offensive line is just too banged up right now. Justin Herbert is he's running for his life too much.
A lot of hits, yeah.
And Chris Jones is still out there. Chris Jones is still playing football. So I'm gonna go Kansas. I'm gonna go not Chiefs, but Chargers cover. Chiefs win 2-point, 3-point games. But yeah, give me the Chargers. 6 points is crazy.
So you are taking the Chargers.
Right.
All right.
I'm Lone Wolf again.
Yeah. It's only your second one. I have the Commies +2.5 at the G-Men over under 46.5. First of all, under. Second of all, Giants. And that's what we're going to keep it short and simple. I'm taking the Giants to win by a tutty here. Pay, you got the Commies +2.5 at the Giants over under 46.5. Who you got?
The Commanders' defense is god awful. One of the worst in the league. Give me the Giants.
All right, Tate. Do you think the Commanders can beat the Giants or keep it within 2?
Well, see, that's not with them low lines, man. I have a problem. I just try and pick the winner, man. So I'm going to take the Commanders, man. I think last time Mariota played, they probably should have beat Denver that night in Denver. Then McDaniel came last week McDaniel played last week for the first time in a minute and kind of messed up the rhythm. Defense is bad, like Pace said, but I think they just have more weapons with McLaurin and Man, is that it? Because it seemed like more weapons when Daniels was back last week. But I'm going to take Mariota and the Commanders to get the W. I think the coach, what's his name? Dan Quinn needs a win.
Bad weather. All right. Hey, you have the man. You have the Colts, possibly led by Old Man Rivers. Plus 13.5 at the Seattle Seahawks, over under 42.5. Who you got, Pay?
So the news this week is that not only did Old Man Irsay leave his team to his daughter, he also left the key to his stash drawer. Because what kind of drugs you got to be on to sign a guy, a grandfather, hasn't played football in 5 years, say, you know what, come play football for our playoff impending team. Come play quarterback. Phillip Rivers was garbage when he last played. This was before COVID. That's when he last time played football. He was garbage then. He's going to be garbage on Saturday. He's going to put up a Justin Fields line. Give me the Seahawks dominating this game. Probably the best defense in the league. He'll put up, oh, man, this is elder abuse. You call me ages. Might see a grandfather. Might see grandkids lose their granddaddy someday.
All right, Tate, you got the Colts plus 13.5 at the Seahawks. Who you got?
Well, I'd just say to Pay, Phillip Rivers threw for 4,200 yards and 24 touchdowns, 11 interceptions his last year.
5 years ago.
And but he said he was trash the last time he played. That wasn't. He went to the playoffs with him. Wasn't that bad? But the only thing I'm hoping, man, is that I got the Seahawks plus 13.5. I hope the defense just doesn't. Minus 13.5. Just hope the defense of the Seahawks doesn't kill me in fantasy. That's what I hope. Because that's your defense, and it be dirt. I know it is.
Yeah, hope is not a strategy, Tate. I'm taking the Seahawks.
Well, there is no strategy in fantasy except hoping that
and a defensive touchdown.
Oh man!
All right,
6.
How about it? All right, Tate, you got the Titans. Another big line, plus 12.5 at the 49ers, over under 44.5. Who you got?
Yeah, I got the 49ers. The Titans defense let Shedeur throw for almost 370 last week, and the Browns put up 29 points. So Brock Purdy coming off a bye with Christian McCaffrey, and yeah, I got the 49ers covering that.
Merry Christmas, Tate. We got another one.
Another super chat, homie S. Dresden for the 10. Thanks, Dresden. Definitely appreciate you again. Phillip 3 Rivers may get it done. Would that be the shock of the week if he comes in there and beats like the number 1 or 2 defense in the league? That would be a shock. That would be the biggest shock of the week.
I think might be the biggest shock of the season.
Do you know the equivalent of a Steeler you would bring back at the same age would be?
Ben Roethlisberger is a year younger than Rivers, at least some months.
Isn't the Steelers quarterback the same age as Rivers now?
Nope.
No, Rivers is 44. Aaron Rodgers turned 42 last week.
Oh, okay.
It's the same age as bringing back Troy Polamalu.
Different positions. Phillip Rivers' position is protected.
Thanks,
Justin, for the super chat, man.
I also take the 49ers here. I think they're going to start getting rolling a little bit more. You know, Purdy seems to be knocking that rust off, and the Titans are a good way to really, really solidify things that you're trying to hone in on. So give me the 49ers, even giving up 12.5. I think they win by 17. Hey, who you got?
49ers over the Titans. Yeah, I'm gonna take the 49ers. It's winning season. I like what Mr. Seahigh puts in the chat here. 30-17 does sound like a good score for that. I might even go further than that. Give me 35-10.
Well, yeah, 30-17, you'd lose. 13.5.
That's why I went further than that. I said 35-10.
All right, I'm starting this one off. Packers at the Broncos. Broncos plus 2.5. I mean, the Broncos do have a pretty good pass rushing. I think the rushing is actually going to be a big game here from Josh Jacobs. I like the Packers to cover this 2.5 over under 42.5. Pay, who you got? Packers at the Broncos. Broncos plus 2.5. I know who you want, but who do you got?
The Broncos are due. That's what scares me about this game mostly. But the Packers are also due.
You left a do out. Do.
No, their offense is. But both teams are due for a loss. The Packers season, they have a good string of 2-3 games. Then lose a confounding game to like the Browns or the Panthers. And the Broncos are on like a 10-game winning streak. So both teams are due. I think if I look at the game straight up, I would more so lean towards the Packers. What's the line again?
Packers are favored by 2.5.
Yeah, I don't think the Packers I think it's going to be closer than that. Crazy. Underneath a field goal. So give me the Broncos to cover.
All right. Tate, you're the tiebreaker.
I got the Packers.
Okay. Pack attack. Another good one here I like. Pay. You get the Lions plus 6 at the Rams. Over under in this one, 54.5. That's why weather should not affect the game. Show me some points. Let's do it.
Did you know Jared Goff has played more games for the Lions now than he did for the Rams? Time do be flying. Well, a lot of things will be flying. Pass is going to be flying this game too. I like a lot of points in this game, but I'm going to take the Lions to cover. You said it's 6.5.
6.
6. Yeah, give me the Lions to cover.
All right, Tate. Lions plus 6 at the Rams. Over under 54.5. Who you got?
I think it'll be a lot of points scored also. I think most of them will be scored by the Rams because the Rams defense is better than the Lions defense. So I got the Rams winning by 10 points. I got them winning 35-24.
Tate, you know I'm normally a Detroit versus everybody kind of guy, but
You are.
but I like the Rams here at home. Brian Branch being out for the Lions, I think, is going to be a significant loss for them. Really, I think the key to their defense right now. So I'm going to take the Rams to cover that, but I think they win by 8. All right, Tate, you have the sneaky good game, I think. Panthers at the Saints. Saints plus 2.5 over under 40.5.
I got the Panthers. The fumble last night, not literal fumble, but fumbling of the game by the Bucks and Baker Mayfield. Carolina controls their own destiny. They can jump into first place and take ownership of that division. Still got to play them again, but Carolina goes in the first place at the end of this week. I got Carolina winning that game by more than 2.5. So, Carolina.
All right. This is a complete guess by me because I think the Panthers are either going to win by 24 or lose by 17. That's the way they've been playing this year. I'm going to take the Panthers, though, to win and cover against the Saints. Hey, who you got? Panthers at the Saints. Saints plus 2.5.
I got the Panthers as well. Yeah, they're not going to fumble away that golden opportunity that the Tampa Bay gave it to them. Panthers by 10.
All right. And I'll start off the last one here. Sunday night game, the Vikings plus 5.5 at the Cowboys. Over under 48.5. Haven't seen a CD playing.
He is playing. He passed concussion protocol earlier today.
That's very important because George Pickens went back to pouty George Pickens from the Pittsburgh Steelers days last week.
From the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah. So So I do like that CD's playing. I think the Cowboys have a little more mojo. I think they cover this. I'm going to take the Cowboys. Hey, who you got? Vikings plus 5.5 the Cowboys.
Yeah. Don't read in too much in that JJ McCarthy and the Vikings 31-0 win over the Commanders. Again, the Commanders' defense is ass, and JJ McCarthy is equally ass. The Cowboys' defense, led by Eberflus, and after they made those trades, their defense is legit now. With CD Lamb out there playing, and the Cowboys still needing to, their playoff chances are a little bit dashed. Both of these teams are 10-11 in the NFC playoff. So if the Cowboys want to get back into this, they got to go out there and make a statement. Give me the Cowboys by 10.
Huh. I kind of need JJ to have a big game, but okay. Tate, last pick of the day. Vikings plus 5.5 at the Cowboys. Who you got?
Yeah, the Cowboys looked bad last time they played. And when Pickens went, Pittsburgh crash out, Georgia crash out Pickens. Commanders look really good. I mean, look, the Vikings look really good against Commanders. So I think both games were anomalies for how they have been looking over the past few weeks. I just think Dallas is capable of scoring more points. And if Flores blitzes like he likes to, Dak going to catch CD or George Pickens. He's going to catch him in it a couple times. So I like the Cowboys to probably win by about 8, something like, 27-19 or something like that.
We got a lot of clean sweeps there. We're an hour and 27 in. We're done with this. Tate, you can take it home, bud.
Everybody, thanks for tapping into the Homies Friday night. We definitely appreciate each and every one of you that joins us as Drez, and we certainly appreciate you every time you join us. But we really appreciate you this evening. You join us. I mean, if all it takes is arguing about Mike Tomlin and how trash he is, man, we can do that every week. You know what I mean? But nah, thanks for tapping in, everybody. Pickens, you big dummy, Mr. Woodside, Dredson, Major, just everybody out there, man. We definitely appreciate you. Like Dresden said, shout out to the homie. Salute. Pay B Dirt. Anything you guys want to say about your channels or anything before we go?
I was eating chili before you went live. Those beans are starting to catch up with me. Thanks for watching, everybody. I go.
I actually have to go to make chili for tomorrow. We're getting together with some friends of ours, watching the Army-Navy game, putting up a little chili bar and some appetizers.
That sounds good, man. I made chili a few weeks ago. And I'm not talking about your chili, I don't know about your chili, but I've award-winning chili 3 times before. Just had to say that to myself.
It's chili season.
It is chili season. Got to make one go to the store and get chili. I was going to get wings and pizza tomorrow. But it's really not a full slate of football games to get wings and pizza tomorrow. So
yeah. Army-Navy games.
Yeah, we'll see what tomorrow looks like. But yeah, so with that being said, everybody, thanks for tapping into the homies on Friday night. We out.
Bet heavy on Navy.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, homie?
You can't handle the truth. Pay that man his money.
Never say never, but never.
Let's go.